Hi, everybody. I was supposed to be doing a reading in Reading, Pennsylvania tonight, but the weirdness has happened. So I'm going to read you poetry from my bed rather than Reading, Pennsylvania. You got Grover last night, you get poetry today. I don't think poetry can compete with Grover, but at least not for most people. Maybe for me, but not for most people. So I'm going to read you 7 or 8 poems, I think, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy yourself. This is called A Palomino and a Bowl Snake. It's for the Kansas poet Lindsay Garcia. It's from my split book with James Benger called Everyone's Alone Tonight that came out last October. A Palomino and a Bowl Snake. There were 4 water towers on the Salinas skyline. More than 10 rooms with private bath in the place that I've stayed. I've lived the last couple of days on gin and tequila. There's been no need to hit the brakes over the last 80 miles. It feels like I'm barnstorming a prairie fire. The longest train I ever saw was an Amarillo. That was before today, although it may have been Sheridan. Amarillo is 400 miles south. Sheridan is a palomino and a bull snake away. In the distance, there's a storm stuck over Topeka. I've seen so much big sky and empty plains, it makes me want to swing north for the Badlands. I could make Rapid City by morning. Yesterday, I learned that Mexican buffet are the 2 most perfect words in the English language. As I left, I noticed the only graffiti on the men's room wall. My asshole is burning. Except both of the S's were faint. They had been corralled to some Baptist ranch in the sky where profanity is still the devil's tongue. Yesterday, I found that I could turn breadcrumbs into bluebirds. If I head north and gun it through Nebraska, I'm going to try my luck turning motels into buffalo. Moving from books to devices. This is a new poem. Of course, my printer ran out of ink, so we're going to have to read it off a phone. You can't really see that unless I hold up the phone. Illusion. Let it be what it is. This is called Another Monochrome Day. At the dog leg light with the ghost house, memories of the Prohibition era, bathtub gin leaking fumes into an ever darkening sky. Pillsbury sign, skirmish of endless rain, noise spills out of the horoscope lounge, another soulful strut drunk takes wings, glides past George Akins, while corner horns, streetlights blow along to a 4-beat. The coffee shop clings to a revolving door of hangovers. It seems every soul is wider this morning. Saucers of the moon, lost in the iris of this old neighborhood song. I swear I'm breathing again. Fingers tap on steering wheel, light blinks green, hands spun turns, chugling. Another split atom, another monochrome day. All right, let's do a cover of sorts. This is from Lew Welch from his collection Ring of Bone. This is in answer to a question from PW. In Mexico, I'll finish the novel I'll write, rough while fire watching in Oregon. The problem is what kind of typewriter to pack in. I ought to be able to live 6 months in Mexico on what I earn on the mountain in 4. They say you can buy dirty books there. Since they give you a horse to pack things in, how would it be if I took a big old typewriter and left it there? They don't give you horses to pack things out. Going to Mexico by motorcycle would be the coolest, but Thoreau warns against any undertaking that requires new clothes. Walking is pure, but I haven't achieved simplicity yet. I'll never willingly hitchhike again. Next winter, I can buy Schneider's Austin for 200, but how can I get the money together? They repossessed my Oldsmobile. I never made the foreign country scene. Like the sign over the urinal, you hold your future in your hands. Or what about that giant black whore, what she said one night in the back of my cab? Man, you sure do love digging at my titties. Now stop that. We get where we're going. You can milk me like a Holstein, but I gotta see your money first. God bless Lew Welch, Huey Lewis's stepdad. All right, let's go to this poem from The Better Angels of Our Nature, another book that came out last October on Kung Fu Treachery Press. Thank you, Jason Reberg. Kerouac, go home. I hear the waitress's footfalls and they sound as roses, like they... Let's share that again in instant replay, folks. Kerouac, go home. I hear the waitress's footfalls and they sound like roses as they echo across Avenue B, as they echo across the Avenue of the Americas, as they echo at the intersection of Bleecker and McDougal, where Silsby can't understand why there are so many fucking people. Sure, he's got a few drinks in him, but I never thought I'd see New Yorkers turn heads at open indictments of procreation, or at least procreation with the intent of furthering the fading bulb of humanity. Jay and Allie say they used to write Kerouac Go Home on the men's room wall at the White Horse. Dylan Thomas is bleeding out. The blood trail runs to the Chelsea Hotel, then beyond. I slipped on it when I tried to remember the last time I had a future. I tried to remember the last time I saw the ocean. There were Mustangs racing on the Garden State Parkway. There were little hands waving on the BQE. I swear there was a Liberty torch in the harbor, its head struggling above the surface. I've snagged myself a driftwood sculpture. There's so much debris the gulls have picked through, the soft-shelled and horseshoe crabs, the few untouched are boiling to burst, but the ocean, it still waves under the twin eyes of lighthouses. It never bothered with magic or loss. Let me have a drink of water here. Riggs Lounge. All it takes is a quarter, flipped or tossed from anywhere in the bar into the tall, clear beer stein to the left of the register to open the doors of heaven. Had a lot of editing time. This is one of those poems that didn't work years ago that managed to be forged into something else. It's called The Belly of Hell for Steve Pellegrino. Yesterday's clothes, wet with sweat, hang limp in a locker. Today's clothes come off, lie on a vacant bench, socks on cold concrete. Yesterday's clothes again, now slowly. Clammy thermal underwear, jeans and then flame retardant pants, thermal shirt, long sleeve shirt, flame retardant coat. Rubber boots slide on, squeak across tile floor, helmet under arm. Already sweating, locker room door opens, door to the shop floor opens, constant thunder. Storms of graphite climb and cracks, irritate any exposed skin. This is the forecast, the weather of a 10-hour night. The belly of hell awaits. This is from my chapbook, Blind into Leaving, which came out on Analog Submission Press back in December. Shout out to Mark Bresky. Blind into Leaving. I'm drinking beer in a bourbon town again. The waitress raised eyebrows suspicious. I lock eyes on an alligator and a shark. The beltways of Kentucky are kind. No stress, no trucks, no cops. Set the cruise just north of 80 miles. Dissolve easy still. If I dive into bourbon now, I'll be slobbering in moments. There are some things you can't drink away. Guitar player works Statesboro blues, more almond than McTell. The sunset was rose water in the rear view tonight. I wanted to hold my breath. Waitress wants to know if I need another. Shit, I need an IV. She tells me. She sees it. These are good people, she says. It took 3 tries to get a room. The lobby, full bloom Appalachian floors show every toilet full of shit. Waitress brings me a third. I down it in one magic swallow. Broke down, engine guzzles gasoline. Wizard guitarist is on to fingerstyle sweet leaf. I tip and walk blind into leaving. This is a brand new poem about the film noir In a Lonely Place, starring Humphrey Bogart, Gloria Graham. It's one of my favorite noirs of all time. Anyway, in a lonely place. Bogart, draped in smoke of a freshly lit cigarette, checks lines on his face in the mirror. Insides chewed up, he internalizes the violence, the trauma this world has done everything to break him. Gloria Graham could be mistaken for being icy in Hollywood midnight. She understands Bogart's lines as she brushes past him in the courtyard. She hadn't believed in love at first sight, till now. She needs to process her heart. She knows she'll think for the both of them. Mildred Atkins yells help. Santa Monica Boulevard is where California falls into the sea. And maybe two broken people can fall in love with bodies hanging around their neck. Sometimes it's only the loneliness that keeps them from spiraling out. Light another cigarette. This was supposed to be a love poem, I think. Graham is on a plane to New York. The ticket cost her everything. Nicholas Ray, dead in an eye patch, waits on Sterling Hayden's guitar. What happened to Bogart is unknown. Black and white photo lost, swirls and sea foam, just a memory hushed. Detritus floating under the pier. Dust highlights, free fall in projection over shadows. Truth be told, we have lives to forget. We span time. We only live a handful of days. And I like to end on this poem. It's a short poem that I wrote in Lexington, Kentucky, like 5 years ago. It's from a place called Al's Bar, or just outside of Al's Bar. 1 a.m., drunk, corner of 6th and North Limestone, hoping each streetlight is the moon. Thanks for listening. We'll do another one of these soon, perhaps. Cheers.